The world of Hollow Knight is filled with many things, but one of the most vast and varied of those are the boss fights, ranging from easy to very difficult. Counting the variations of every fight, there's a total of 47 bosses in the game. Each boss having some sort of uniqueness to them, making almost every fight in the game stand out from one another, whether it's a fight with an amazing OST, or one that challenges you in every way possible. You're sure to find a favorite in Hollow Knight. For me personally, one in particular stole the show, having this combination of lore, a great OST, good challenge, and just everything else. It's one that made me fall in love with the game every second I'm playing, one I even think about in my free time, one that perfectly captures the essence of Hollow Knight. Deepest silence and holy show, given nail and named a night, bound by chain and egg and spell. Hear our plea, reveal thy light. The infamous prayer that enlightens us of the coming of what I believe to be the best fight in all of Hollow Knight, the one that sits atop the pantheon of the night, the one that is the perfect creation of the Pale King, the pure vessel. But hello, I hope you're all doing very well. Today I want to jump back into the world of Hollow Knight. It's been almost 2 months since my last Hollow Knight video and I thought I was done with the game. The 2 videos I posted were some of the best reception-wise on my channel, and I'm so appreciative of that. Thank you all. But I ended up catching myself playing the game a bit more after I dropped those videos, and I ended up in the God Home. Little did I know that I would end up finding one of my favorite boss fights of all time in there, the Pure Vessel, and that's what I want to discuss today. For this video, I want to break down what I love about the Pure Vessel, the lore, the artistry, and anything else, and why I think it's the best boss in Hollow Knight. If that sounds interesting to you, then why not like and subscribe? I make a ton of different videos analyzing a variety of different games and would love for you to join me. But with all that introduction stuff out the way, let's get into analyzing the Pure Vessel. When it comes to understanding why the Pure Vessel is such a great boss fight, we have to understand its origins first. It all starts from the beginning of the game. The first cutscene we see, bound by chain and egg and spell. Spoilers ahead if you haven't played the game yet, of course. But we understand this statue caught in chains whilst being stuck in a black egg to be none other than the Hollow Knight himself. Our mission as the Knight is to get rid of the infection that is sealed inside the Hollow Knight, the infection that has ravaged the world of Hollownest. The Hollow Knight was chosen as the perfect hollow vessel to hold off the infection by his father, the Pale King. As we go about our journey, we uncover more and more about the infection and the steps the kingdom took to ensure that the infection that was spreading throughout the whole land would be no more. Of course, we know that the Pale King chose the Hollow Knight as the perfect vessel. Of all the thousands of kids he made and disbanded, he finally chose one. But that wasn't enough. On top of the infection being sealed into the Hollow Knight himself, they needed extra precautions. Bound by chain and egg and spell. This poem is deeply important. It tells the tale of the Hollow Knight. With the infection inside of him, they sealed him in the black egg, along with having spells casted by the 3 dreamers who lived in Hollownest, to ensure that this infection would be no more. But as we all know, it didn't work. That infamous scream of pain and agony of the one who sought to be the perfect vessel for his father, the Hollow Knight, bounded by egg and chain and spell no more. Now, how is knowing the Hollow Knight's backstory important to understanding the Pure Vessel? They are 2 different characters with 2 different names. Or are they? As I said before, I ended up playing the game a ton more after my initial completion, and when I found myself in the God Home, I didn't know what was waiting for me. The Pantheon of the Night was the toughest task for me so far, but the reward was so worth it. Before the final fight, we are met by the God Seeker. In the room right before the fight, there is familiar symbols, and this underlying feeling of nothingness. We then enter the room. The Pure Vessel stands before us, breaking off his armor and letting out a scream, yet with no sound. The room we are in feels so familiar, the chains scattered everywhere, the almost gospel-like OST playing in the background as the Pure Vessel swings his sword. It all clicked right here. The pure vessel is the purest form of the HollowKnight, the perfect knight, one with no emotion, one able to carry out what the HollowKnight wasn't able to. The pure vessel. The way the game's able to implement these things to make the pure vessel is so astonishing to me, even down to the smallest details. One of my personal favorites is the scream. As we saw earlier, encountering the real HollowKnight, he lets off this heart-wrenching scream. He's in pain and the game shows it beautifully. But when you encounter the pure vessel, he screams as well. But nothing comes out. It's such a small detail, but it adds so much. The first time seeing the pure vessel was met with this unfamiliarity, yet it feels familiar at the same time. But when you dive into the lore to really understand what the pure vessel is when it all clicks. That emotional impact, the beautiful OST in the background that captures the essence of nothingness so perfectly. That scream the pure vessel lets out. These things all build up. They make the fight feel so much more than just a boss and a boss rush. And the fact that he's waiting atop the pantheon of the knight all makes sense. Now diving a bit more into the fight itself, his moveset is very similar to that of the HollowKnight, both equipped with a long nail. I enjoy this fight a lot actually. The lore build up and understanding of who we are fighting of course adds to it, but learning the fight over and over was a good time. His moveset isn't so overbearing that it seems luck based, but it's also not simple enough to where you can predict his every single move. And honestly, his fighting style reminds me that of a knight. Knights fight with honor and integrity. You don't equate knights with gimmicks or sneak attacks or anything like that, and that's how this fight feels. It definitely takes time to learn, but it feels good learning because you feel improvement. I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand every hitbox and mechanic the fight itself has to offer, but if this fight itself is able to make me want to beat it in Radiant mode, then I think that itself says enough. And really quickly, I want to touch on the Pure Vessel OST. Man, do I love this track. Not only is it one of my favorite OSTs in HollowKnight, but one of the best gaming OSTs I've heard all year. It's able to capture exactly what the Pure Vessel is in music form. On the surface, the song is very mellow and one tempo, but within the vocals, there's so much more than on the surface, exactly like the Pure Vessel. It also shares similarities to the HollowKnight's OST, the Sealed Vessel. Some of the notes are the same, which shows the connection that they have. All of these things, the lore, the fight, the music, they all build up into what I believe to be the masterpiece of HollowKnight, the Pure Vessel. I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis on the Pure Vessel. I had no idea that I would enjoy this boss so much or that I would even be making another HollowKnight video, but I had to once I fought him. Top down, it's an amazing boss fight, and I hope that whenever Silksong releases that we can have more moments just like this. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more analysis just like this, then why not like and subscribe? I make analysis videos like this for a ton of different games and would love for you to join me. But that's all for me. Thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye.